Good day, everyone. Thank you so much for showing up. Someone in the comments section of one of my earlier videos asked if I would address the topic of forgiveness, so I'm happy to do that. And what I'll be talking about today is essentially the forgiveness from the point of view of A Course in Miracles. And the Course tells us that the world's idea of forgiveness is fairly skewed. It's a very rudimentary and relatively unconscious idea. And it says, you did something really horrible to me that really hurt me and damaged me, but I will have the magnanimity to overlook it. And in a way that works, but in a way it doesn't. I'll tell you why. True forgiveness is really a letting go and a release of the belief that anything anyone does has power over your experience. So when I read A Course in Miracles and I see the word forgiveness, I replace it with release. And the Course tells us I'm not a victim of the world I see, which means that when somebody does something I don't like, I am not their victim. I am actually creating that experience by my judgment or resistance to it. So what I'm going to do with you today is walk through a process of getting to a place where you can really release that which has held power over you. And at the end we'll have a very nice meditation, so if you want to stop the video at some point and sit and get quiet, I'll lead you through this meditation. And I like to give this example of what real forgiveness is. And I told this a long time ago when we first started our daily dose, but I think it's really appropriate today. That I had a friend named Alden who lived in Spokane, Washington. And once when I went to do some lectures there, Alden very kindly offered to drive me around. And I made an appointment to meet him at a certain place to go to my next appointment. But I had a massage before I was to meet him, and I fell asleep on the massage table, and the therapist let me sleep for a while. And by the time I woke up, it was too late to meet him. And I went to the meeting point, but he'd waited for quite a while and went home. And I felt horrible. Here this guy was giving me a chance to go around the city, drive me around, and I kind of stood him up because I selfishly fell asleep while getting massaged. So I saw him the next day, and I said, Alden, I'm so sorry. I explained what happened. I said, I know I put you out. I really want to apologize. He said, that's all right. He said, would you like a ride anywhere else today? Now, a worldly person would have said, the heck with you. You stood me up. I'm not going to put myself out for you anymore. But A Course in Miracles says that true forgiveness, real forgiveness, is to demonstrate to your brother or sister that the sin he believes he has committed has not affected you. This is big, because what you're doing is you're claiming power over your experience. You're not divesting your power and saying, oh, you did this to me and you hurt me, now I'm damaged and you owe me. It's the way of the world. It says true forgiveness means releasing anyone and everything from the belief that they can hurt you. Now this causes us we have to rise to a higher frequency than the world says. Jesus said, in the world you shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer because I have overcome the world. Now what do you mean? It's a very mystical state. What he's saying is that when you function at the level of duality and separation and divisiveness and conflict, so you're subject to all the karma of the world, all the heaviness of the world, the tribulation of the world. He says, but I have risen above the world, which means that I have established myself at a frequency that's higher than regular life, and therefore I cannot be touched by the things that happen in the world. So I can be of good cheer, and because I have attained that frequency and I invite you to attain that frequency, you can be of good cheer too, because nothing that anyone does can truly hurt you unless you give them the power to do that. So all forgiveness is is taking back power that you falsely and erroneously attributed to external people and events. Now let's take this one step further. This is where it really gets fun now. When you forgive, when you release somebody from your upset or resentment or vengeance against them, the person you're releasing is yourself. You get it? That you think you're doing somebody a favor by releasing them, and you are, but you're really doing yourself the biggest favor, because to hold on to a grievance or a judgment is to put yourself in prison. And the Course says that a jailer has to sit in jail at the door of the cell to make sure his prisoner does not escape, and therefore the jailer is in prison with the prisoner. You get it? That when you hold somebody as evil or dark, or they owe you, you're in there with them, you're grinding with them, you're upset with them, you're in pain with them. In fact, you're probably in more pain than they are, because they could be out playing tennis and having fun, and you're the one who's in jail because you're resenting and grinding against them. You see, so forgiveness is really a gift to ourselves. Wayne Dyer used to say that resentment is like taking a little bit of poison and then waiting for the other person to die. Resentment hurts the resenter, not the person that you resent. And so we want to replace the idea of forgiveness with release. Just letting go. Doesn't it feel good just to let go? It's so hard to hold on. So much pain. People have divorce battles for years and years and years, and all kinds of legal battles, and it's very sad, because we go to hell. Talk about going to hell when you die. Forget about that. You go to hell when you live, when you hold on to a grievance, to keep bucking against someone, to keep fighting them. That's what hell hell is. And there was many years ago, there was a scientist named Lester Levinson. And he was only in his early 40s, but he had a very serious heart condition. And he was a type A person, and he was very stressed. And this stress was working adversely against his heart condition. And his doctor told him that his heart was so fragile that he could literally drop dead at any minute. Well, this got Lester Levinson's attention. And he said, well, I really don't want to drop dead at any minute. So let me see if I can somehow let go of the things I feel stressed about. And so he laid down. He just thought of this situation, let me release it. So that person, let me release it. That financial situation, let me release it. And he just went through everything in his life that was oppressive to him. And he just let it go, let it go. If you've ever done yoga, at the end of a good yoga class, you'll be guided through Shavasana, which means you just lay there, and after your exercise, you release your feet, and you release your legs, and you release your back. And one by one, you release the body parts, so it's just a great release. And that's the best part of yoga. And a good yoga teacher will put you there for 5-10 minutes and just let you have the benefit and the blessing of just letting go. So this Lester Levinson figured out this method of release, and he felt a lot better. And he went back to his doctor after a while, and the heart condition was gone. And he lived another 40 or so years. And he developed a method he was called the Sedona Method, because he lived in Sedona at the time, and he taught it for many years. And there's actually a retreat center now where you can go. He began, and you can see his grave. And he was a great man, because he demonstrated the power of release and forgiveness. Now, forgiveness, it's really self-forgiveness that we're looking for, are we not? If you could truly forgive yourself, then you could truly forgive everyone and everything else. Because the Course in Miracles tells us that the world we see is a projection of our own mind. And that whatever's going on in here appears to be out there on the screen of the world, but it's really in here on the screen of your own mind. And if you have not forgiven yourself, it's going to be hard to forgive others. So forgiveness is really a package deal. You can work it by letting go of others, and when you let go of others, you let go of yourself, or you can work it by releasing yourself. And when you release yourself, why would you be upset with anybody else if you were free in your own heart? So forgiveness is really inner freedom by rising above the illusions that seem to keep you captive. And that's why perhaps the most powerful lesson in A Course in Miracles is forgiveness is the key to happiness. Forgiveness is the key to happiness. And once again, the word forgiveness is a bit oppressive because we think, oh, he did that bad thing to me, now I'm going to get back at him. But it's just release is the key to happiness. So I'd like to lead you through a little meditation, a little visualization. So if you're in a position where you can, just kind of relax and close your eyes and see if you can shut out any distractions for a few minutes. So close your eyes if you would. Take a deep breath. And I want to preface this by a story someone told me. You can open your eyes once again. I want to finish the story. That a fellow told me a story where he was having a meditation and he saw the world on him with all of its troubles and his sins and the sins of the world and politics and economics and disease and all the dark things of the world. And then something happened in his meditation where that image just rolled up like a window shade. And it was as if what seemed to be a solid three-dimensional world was just an illusion. It was a painting painted on a window shade. And when that window shade rolled up, nothing but white, bright, healing light shined in. And he was free. Because the world that seemed so solid and oppressive was no longer there. It had no power over him. So let's go back to this meditation. Thank you for flowing. So close your eyes if you would. And take a deep breath. And I'd like you to imagine a magnificent, glorious, bright light. A white light, a golden light, some bright light of any color you like, but let it be bright and stunning and shimmering and the kind of light that just zaps you and wakes you up and goes, oh yeah, man, that light feels so good. And the light is very powerful. It just washes over you. It fills the room. It fills your body. It fills the cells of your body. It's actually stimulating all the cells of your body to move into their proper position. It's a healing, bright light. We'll say it's white just for the sake of this meditation. Now I'd like you to take some object that you can think of. Let's say a pen. And I'd like you to hold the pen up to the light and visualize that pen is just absorbed in the light. What seemed to be a solid 3D pen is now kind of evaporated into this light. It no longer has separateness and reality unto itself. Take another object, like a cup. Take your favorite drinking cup where you have your coffee or tea, let us say. And now hold that cup up to the light. And allow in your mind that cup to be just dissolved and merged into the light. So where there seemed to be a cup, now there's only a bright white or golden healing light. And now take a larger object like your computer, let's say your laptop, if you're willing to release it, or your phone. Might be a little more challenging to release, but for this meditation, let's do it. So take your phone or your laptop and just hold it up to this light. And for these few minutes, we're going to release this object into the light. So there seemed to be a laptop or a phone. They're now just light. You're free. And your ego may have some resistance, but wouldn't it feel good to be free? Free, free, free. I release this object into the light. And now take a person, anybody you know for any reason, and just see them standing in front of you, and just release this person to the light. They're not going to die, you're not killing them, you're just letting them go. You're removing them from your consciousness at the moment, and you're allowing this person to just dissolve into light. You might want to think of the Star Trek transporter room, something like that, where a person stands and a light comes down and they sparkle into the light. And for the sake of this vision, this person is just merging into the light. They're going back into the great, great light, the great rays, the Course in Miracles calls us. And now take someone that you've been having a hard time with. Someone who bugs you, someone you have a conflict with, someone you have fears about, and see them standing before you. And you may bristle a bit because you've had a hard time with them, but we're going to heal that in just a moment. And so now allow this person, release them into the light. And you may want to say an affirmation. Say their name. And say, now I let you go. Let go of all my upsets with you. I let go of my fears. Let go of the things I like about you, the good and the bad. And now I just see you merging into the light. I release you from any power I have given you to determine my experience. And I now allow you to be replaced with God's healing light. Oh, that's a good one. Again, I allow you to be replaced by God's healing light. And now just visualize this person merging back into the light. So where there seemed to be a body, where there seemed to be a personality, where there seemed to be behaviors in the world, all of that is now gently, lovingly, kindly, gracefully merged into the light. All their sins are gone. And with them, so are yours. As long as you judge someone else for their sins, you're judgeable for your sins. And as you let them go, you let yourself go. And now, allow this light, allow yourself to merge into your light, into the light, your own body. You're not going to die, you're just going to be released. And so instead of seeing a physical form with organs and bones and all kinds of physical attributes, you are now saying, I now allow my own body, my own personality, my own mind, my own history, my own seeming sins to be dissolved and merged into the light of God. And you will see that you still retain your consciousness. You're not going to just disappear. But now you're elevated to that place where Jesus said, be of good cheer, because the trials and tribulations of the world are no longer with you. So see yourself elevating in consciousness and becoming one with the light. Take a moment to feel this. I am the light. I am light. I am light. And how good it feels to be released from that whole story we made up about what the world is. Cannot touch you. It's like you're in an airplane that's way, way above the earth now. You've attained a higher altitude, functioning at a freer, higher, pure vibration. Say this again, please. I am light. I am light. I am love. My true nature is love. God created me as love, and I now reclaim my identity as a loving being. Oh, how good it feels to be love. I don't need love. I'm not seeking love. I am love. I am coming from love. I am expressing love. I am living as love. Oh, now there's release for you. I am free. I am free. And think of the thing that you judged about that person. I am now free of that thing. You cannot bring me down anymore. You cannot take my good from me anymore, because I take back my good. I am free. I am free. I am really free. I am done. I am free. I am whole. Cannot be broken by the world in the state of consciousness. I am absolutely whole, and I am as God created me. I have returned back to my essence as a divine, innocent, loving, pure, radiant being of pure light and pure love. Take a moment to feel the freedom of releasing the world and releasing yourself. And so it is. If you like to say out loud in a whisper, and so it is. And as we do that, we join with all the other minds who are doing this, and it doesn't matter when you're doing it or where, because there's no time or distance in God. So in this moment of joining, you are connected with every other being who has ever attained enlightenment, which means releasing the world and rising into the light. You have the power. Course in Miracles calls this mighty companions, where you're now joined with all the minds who are healed. In this moment, your mind is healed. My mind is healed. So we're going to now reintegrate this high experience into our activity. So take a deep breath. And regain the awareness of your body. sitting in a chair, on the floor, wherever you are. But you're not the same person who began this exercise a little while ago. You are now integrating a sense of release and wholeness and empowerment. And so in just a few moments, we're going to regain our day, step back into our activity, whatever that is for you. If you don't have to run off and do something, you might want to just sit quietly for a while and continue the meditation, or read something, or pray, or chant, or do something that keeps this energy going if you like. But whenever you go back into activity, we're going to take this loving awareness with us. I'm going to walk the world as free people. We've now released that which seemed to have power over us, but never really did. We have claimed our true identity as children of the divine, sinless, innocent, guiltless. I free myself, and I free the world. Thank you for joining me. I love you. I wish you well. All is well.